I'm taking some inspiration from Sesame Street and Dr. Seuss these days, so next on MLS Now, we're counting down from the number 10. 10 goals to hit 73 for the Galaxy. Why is that number so important, you see? Well, the most goals scored in a season was LA in '98. Their 85 goals were scored on defenses that weren't so great. But since then, no team has scored more than the Quake's 72. 2.5 goals per game in LA's last 4 would best what the Goonies could do. But that does seem like a tall task from what I remember. It might be for some, but LA scored 3 goals per game in September. 9 points separate spots 2 through 8 in the East. It's a battle royale for the 4 playoff spots, to say the least. For the Houston Dynamo in 8th, every point counts. This weekend they head to Red Bull Arena as the pressure mounts. 8 points better than this time last year. FC Dallas know a playoff spot is near. 2013's nosedive is a thing of the past. Oscar Pareja's men have found a way to make success last. And 1 win now from a return to the postseason. Why can't they win the cup? Give me a reason. 7 games without a win versus these guys. You'd think the Whitecaps would have fear in their eyes. The Timbers on their heels, but only a victory on their mind. Scrapping for survival along that perilous red line. With their fans behind them, giving them a shove, they know only a victory guarantees they stay above. 6 of the last 7 games for the Revs have been wins. After a rough summer, L's become W's and frowns become grins. Heap should be thrilled with midfield talent like Wynn and Jones. And how about that goal from Jose, all on his own? But should the Revs lose at home to the Crew, they'd be passed in the standings and no longer number 2. 5 goals against the Dynamo in only 2 games, that's the tally for the Englishman who goes by 3 names. And he's only 4 goals from single-season glory. Passing Wando and Rocket Roy would be quite the story. And Henry and the Red Bulls are ready to turn the page after failing to show much on Sunday night's stage. 4 times they've played there and never have they won. But the Timbers will need to do what they've never done. Sitting below the red line, up they need to claw. The first step for Portland is a win at Buckshaw. But last week stacked the odds against them in layers and layers, as they must play this week without 3 vital players. 3 teams this weekend can see their hard work pay off, as results going their way would mean they've made the playoffs. For DC, they clinch with a win or a tie versus KC. For Dallas and Salt Lake, they clinch if they take all 3. 2 wins for the Sounders to reach 20. With 4 games left, the chances are plenty. No team has done it since we said so long to the shootout. A 20-win season would certainly add clout. But in the end, the treble is what would bring the fans bliss. And you can check off the Open Cup from that list. Next up, the Supporters' Shield is what they seek, to be decided when they play LA home and home in the final 2 weeks. 1 assist away from the all-time greatest. It's not LD's first record, but it would be the latest. He's already the king of goals, sitting at 144, and now he's knocking at Steve Ralston's door. His 3 versus New York put him at 18 for the year. That's the most in 1 season through his entire career. And only 1 person has ever reached 20 assists. Valderrama's 26 will always be 1 on that list. But he'll have company soon in the 20-plus order as LA welcomes their friends from north of the border. There you have it, plenty to watch for this weekend. Let me know in the comments section below if you like the poem that I penned. Will Landon break the record? Will 3 teams clinch? Will you be nice about all this, or will you be a comment section Grinch?